Ladies and gentlemen, we give you Megha Sharma from NewsX. May I now invite Mr. Arun Chadha, Sumer Pasricha, come on stage. Tarun Arora, come on stage, please. And let's get this really interesting session started. Over to you, Megha.
Thank you, Manish. You've been kind, and thank you for inviting me with this distinguished audience. And my panelists over here are fabulous, famous in their own right. Of course, we have Tarun Arora, the job we met guy. Obviously, that was what brought him and got him the waves that we remember him by. We also have Mr. Pasricha, Sumer Pasricha, Pami Auntie, as Manish actually went about introducing him to. And he's obviously taken our hearts and taken our screens because he's gone viral with a number of his social media posts, and people just love him for his humor. Mr. Arun Chadha, of course, he's on our panel as well. He's a national award-winning documentary filmmaker. I'm going to start off with the big question that comes in everybody's mind. You know, how do movie stars, how do celebrities remain fit? Is it their diets that actually help them keep fit? It's obviously the profession that they're in. And by virtue of that, they have to stay slim, stay presentable in front of the cameras. But what exactly goes into the diets of film stars, of movie stars, is my question over here. We all are envious, Tarun, you know, well-sculpted body. It takes a lot of perseverance to do that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, well-sculpted body requires a lot of discipline. More than going with the diet, I think it's all about the mindset. So if you really want something, that's all it's all about. So if you want a good body, then you have to work for it. Definitely diet counts. What you eat is what you are. So I would say is more than looking at a diet, it's more about balanced food. Eating food at the right time. You can eat what you want if you burn it out. So you need to work out. Either you do any form of exercise or anything which makes you feel good. Dancing is also a great exercise. So I would say it's not so difficult unless you really put your mind to it. And I would say health is wealth, so we all should invest in our health, and food is what makes the whole difference, as well as putting a little bit of workout. And then you can enjoy Diwali, Holi, everything, and that's what it is.
I'm going to ask you, how many days in a week do you work out? How stringent it is? How strenuous is the workout?
Yeah, that's something which I put in every day if I get time, because something with the industry which I am in is very demanding, so we have to keep fit. And I also play the characters which are more demeaning and bad guy, which requires to be more, more lean and more fit kind of thing.
More muscular.
Yeah, more muscular. So it's 45 minutes to an hour is compulsory. And as you keep working out, you start enjoying gym, you make friends there, and that becomes your social place. So it's like investing time. So I would rather not go out and party, and then I would go to the gym and invest time there. So that's all what it changes. It's just balancing you from this side to this side.
That looks like a lot of hard work. Sumer, I'm going to come to you. You know, you are a public personality. How you present yourself, how you look matters. And while you are a comic who's going about making the world laugh, it also is also about how you look, how you present yourself.
Well, thank you. Like Tarun said, we are in the industry which demands us to present ourselves nicely, maybe well-dressed or well-fit body. But at the same time, I always say it's a pressure which most of us may not be able to take it. It has to come from within. Yes, a healthy mind is the fit body for me. You can still have six-pack and be into depression, and you can still look like me, act, have humor, and still be successful. But yes, a balanced diet, because nowadays we get a lot of adulterated, preserved food and all. So I think that bit of consciousness is very important. What we are eating, how healthy we are eating, whether it's salads or roti, everything is healthy. I'm not saying that the Indian rotis and things are not healthy, but I think the balance is good.
Yeah, Absolutely. We had the bajra, our very own healthy food, healthy grain over here, and that is being promoted. I'm going to come back to the diet question, but Arun, being a filmmaker, uh, obviously documentaries are your forte. But talking about the pressure that the filmmakers, directors also exert on actors to be looking a certain way. Mainstream cinema versus parallel cinema, has the line gotten blurred at this time?
Let me put it such a way, basically, all cinema is very fictitious. There's no reality. It's all make believe. What you see in the picture is not the right thing. Even while we are giving you, making advertisement films, whether it's on ice cream or pancake or anything, it's all glamorous, nothing real. Will you believe it that when we make a film on ice cream, that's not ice cream. That is a potato mash. And in
Absolutely.
potato mash, we add up something, the colors, whatever color you want to, eating colors you want to mix up, you make it, and then make a scoop, add little almonds or something, whatever you wanted, and you click it. It looks like, oh, so beautiful. Because you can't have a shooting with the ice cream. It will melt so fast with the light and all that. So same thing will happen basically with when you're making a pancake. What is a pancake? We make it bread pieces as such, put a little butter, put a oil, the machine oil, which you feed to cars.
Yes.
So that is put it up so that it melts, start melting, and it takes time to melt and give you the particular effect. Even in the pizza, what you eat it, what do they make with? That's a glue.
So
It's
it's
so
make
strange,
believe. It's make believe on your screen.
That's not the
not-
real world.
It's not the real world. So
It's
then,
not the real world.
Arun, it's an interesting direction where Arun is taking the discussion to. It's make believe. Whether the actors look with their svelte figures, six packs, and you said there are strenuous workouts that you have to do. It's I think 80% diet and 20% workout. And how would a normal individual who's actually following you on social media, when things like thirst traps trend, when there's Ranveer Singh coming out, removing all his clothes on the paper magazine, or for that matter, Deepika Padukone with the latest song with the body as sculpted as ever. How much of that impacts a normal person who's not in front of the limelight but desires, wants to get that?
Well, I would say, stars, we all work for cinema. It's all something which we try to create. We try to make that as an entertainment. As we say, it's all make believe. Even when it comes to bodies and stuff like that, it all depends on a project. If a project demands, you have to work on it, and you kind of, go through a diet schedule and everything. And it's not necessary. It's all about being healthy. You don't need to have six packs. You can have a very healthy attitude towards life. You can eat healthy and you can feel fit. A person who has six packs might not be as stronger as the guy who's next door, who might be, just eating healthy and has a more healthier mind than the other guy. So I would say is we can just be inspiration for the youngsters, but at the end of the day, we all go through our own little lifestyle with our own little, mind thoughts. So for the youth and for the people, I would say is yes, the new India is looking beautiful, and we all should work hard, eat healthy, and try to look good, because we all are good-looking people.
I'm going to put that question. Yeah, go ahead, Arun.
I add up to what my friend is talking about. You see, for any actor, of course, keeping the body is one part. But when we really follow the method school of acting, method was basically it's a kind of a style of acting was developed by Stanislavski and then followed by Adler and Strasberg. So it became a kind of a process how you carry on your body, your mind, and your behavior. So even they use the sense memory also when we are creating the emotions. So the best part comes up how you are really building up your body also.
Yeah.
because you're doing a particular character. Eating for your life, that's the one part. But when you're eating particularly for a character, that's a secondary
I
part.
agree with you.
And
That's
when
an
you're
important
eating for an actor, so then you have to follow certain norms. I remember the Alfred Garfield, when he was doing a character for Martin Scorsese's film called Silence, he was playing a very lean and thin character, a priest. When he was playing that character, he kept himself on many days on fasting. He was celibated, away from sex for 6 months. And he was also meditating in between. So that's the actor. The actor has to maintain. But if he has to have kind of a, some kind of a pehlwan or something, then he has to eat more. So how the actor balance themselves.
Yeah.
So that's a quality in an actor one should have.
Yeah.
And it has.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like I said, it's very strenuous, very high pressure job. And that's exactly why they're paid the amounts that they're paid. Sumer, I'll come to you. If Tarun is the quintessential actor model that the world follows, that Bollywood is looking forward to and emulating, you are the antithesis. You know, you crack jokes. You look at the South Delhi crowd. You put out those masks when you're actually putting so you're creating humor out of the mundane things, and that's funny. So are you then also not too concerned about how you look, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day? Yeah.
Exactly. I always say, first be an actor, work on your craft. Maintaining the body, whether you want six-pack or you want to gain weight, is secondary. That depends on the character you're playing, how director sees you in that particular role. I don't get into those norms if I can, because we need to understand Indian genes and Indian food are way too different.
Yeah.
We Punjabis were not born to be six-pack. It is the pressure of Bollywood which has
We
come
have
to.
Tarun over here with the ripe example of the six
See,
packs
there
and the
are people-
muscular body.
See, his requirement, and also it has to come from within. He likes being fit. He likes having six-pack, and that's his way. And we all admire him. We all follow him. And we get inspired by him. But do I take that pressure to be like Tarun? एक ही Tarun ठीक है. I am Sumir. I am Pammi auntie who wears suit, or probably I look like this. But I am still an actor. I am still celebrated. So you cannot put everybody under the same
mold.
goal. सारे ही ऋतिक रोशन बन जाओ, सारे ही अगर रणबीर सिंह बन जाओगे, तो फिर उनकी इंडिविजुअलिटी नहीं रहेगा.
Yeah.
So it's okay. If tomorrow my role will demand I need to lose weight, I will definitely. That's my craft, and I must. But if it is not required, I will not take that unnecessary pressure. I am sorry. I don't get into that zone.
Fair enough.
I like to be fit. All I demand or I expect of myself is I must have a physical activity, make sure that my BMI and all these things are perfect. I sleep healthy, I get up healthy, that's enough. Ajkal, otherwise people are not getting up in the morning. I'm sorry. So I think so a healthy lifestyle is the way. So there, we need to make differentiation. What is healthy lifestyle, what is being healthy, and what is healthy
an
mind.
obsession and a fad?
Yes, and nowadays today's generation is getting over obsessed. Maybe because of Instagram. What Tarun is doing, he has crafted that thing. He has been doing this since years. He
Everybody
knows.
wants to be a superstar. Everybody wants to be the film stars or social media stars or Instagram stars putting out their reels. And that seems to be selling.
Like,
But
like Tarun knows what is good for him, what is bad for him. His body muscle, his body memory has got it. He can make it within seconds. For me personally, like I have to work for 6 months. So I'll take the pressure, what is required.
So I like to understand from Tarun, what are those quick points? Because as Arun also mentioned that you have to transform your body. Sometimes you are supposed to be overweight because the role demands that. Sometimes you're supposed to be lean and muscular. Sometimes you're supposed to be thin. And these transformations, do they also impact and affect your body adversely?
Absolutely, they do. Like trying to lose weight, trying to put on weight. These are a lot of stress on your body. You've seen a great actor, Amir Khan, doing it. Yeah, it's not easy, and that's why we kind of salute him whenever he comes with a new character, and whatever he performs, it takes a lot of time and diet. I said discipline. Yeah, definitely a lot of discipline is required, but yeah, your body goes through a lot of getting back to shape after putting on weight is not easy. So hats off to all the actors. I definitely would say eating healthy and keeping yourself fit to that level, when a character demands you to put on weight, it doesn't take too much of stress or too much of overeating, as well as if you have to lose also, because you are fit and you're putting your mind and body always in action, so it becomes easier for you to also come back to form. Yeah.
Arun, you want to make a point?
Following Tarun, of course, and my previous point, the food is such a thing that it always enhances your senses. Especially for an actor also I'm talking about. What kind of food he's doing, eating, and how he's presenting the particular character. If you all know that, sometimes, to give you a kind of a strength, a kind of a mindset for a particular character, there was a film called Razia Sultan. And Kamal Amrohi was shooting a film. What he did it, because he had a big crew who was basically in extras, and they were not as strong. So when he was shooting a film, he said, well, this guy doesn't look like as bright and have a drive to fight. So what to do it? So for 15 days, he fed them with a desi ghee khana. So that's what, then when the shooting began, they were all feeling, they're quite muscular, they have a strength, they can fight. So that's what happened.
You need to look the character.
You look the character. To live into the character, then you have to have the kind of a food you are going to have. But as for my profession goes, like my kind of films goes on, well, I belong to entirely a different kind of cinema. Of course, as a part of the cinema, where the stories, every fiction or a documentary has a story.
As close to reality
both
as reality
have a story,
can be.
basically, but how we narrate a story, that makes a difference. When we do a story, when we go on the location, we might not be having a food at all to eat, because we are making a participatory documentary, or is a cinema verte, or it's a observational documentary. So we are living with people. We are living with them. And what we are having a food what they are eating.
Yes.
Otherwise, we just can't gel together to bring the thing to
But then obviously documentary films do not need to look glamorous. They are as close to reality as reality can be.
No, there's nothing like a reality. Neither the documentary reality, neither the news is not a reality. Even the news is not a reality. When you put your camera somewhere...
I come from the television news.
I understand. I worked with the American Broadcasting Corporation in my early time. There's nothing called reality. When you put a camera, according to that, you add it, there is a perspective.
I said perception. Yes, absolutely.
So, but as I was talking about, in documentary, I remember one documentary I was doing on Lathurism. Lathurism is a Lathyrus sativus. It's kind of a pulse called matara. It grows predominantly in Riva Satna and Chhattisgarh. If you eat that pulse for 1.5 months as a staple diet, you get a paraplegia. So when I shot that film in 1987, there was epidemic. Because nothing was growing, there was a drought, people are eating that dal and roti also is given to the bonded laborers. And they fell victim to this disease. But now comes the taste. Of course, because we have to live there, we have to stay there, we have to eat that. So after going researching and all that, we found that if we remove its water, if you boil it, remove its water, but as the other person just was saying about remove the toxic value, and it becomes tastier. Yeah. No, you are removing its a basic part. That's the toxic. When you remove a water, you also remove its protein values. Its taste.
Interesting. The way we cook food, the way we consume it, what is it that we are consuming? And that's what I'm going to ask Tarun as well. There's so many fads. Keto diets, Atkins, 5-factor diets, followed by celebrities, Hollywood and Bollywood alike. You have, Janhvi Kapoor's and Sara Ali Khan's of the world coming and putting out their social media reels, working out really, really hard. So what is the best diet is there a diet that needs to be followed, or eat at your will, but also work out and persevere, and that's the way to go?
Well, I would say that eat at your will and just work out. That is my style. I don't know about everybody because it all depends on everybody's body as well. So, you know, what suits you and what doesn't suit you. And it's also about your interest. So I would say is just eat whatever you feel like and work out. And that would be the easiest way. And since we are born, my main thing is since we are born with the climate, what we have, the food, what we eat from our childhood, it definitely helps than changing your diet to a different diet. So we rather continue with our diet, enjoy whatever local fruits and local food, and kind of put a little workout. That is my mantra, and that is what I could share.
Okay, so a minute on the lips is 10 kgs on the hips. And like you said, the North Indians, the Punjabis, are not attuned to being fit by way of our paranthas, by way of our butter that we use, makhan, safed wala. I know your personal journey, how difficult is it? Because people love to eat, but when it comes to doing the hard work at the gym, that's the difficult part.
See, what is happening, I think, so the more we are going more towards the Western oil and all that stuff, that's creating more problem. I think so. When we talk about being fit, if you go back to our 30, 40 years, our parents or our dadi, nanis were more healthy, more fit because they were having ghee. They were doing physical work, whether it was a household thing. So the definition may vary.
Yeah,
and
the
when
definition itself is just turned on its head.
Exactly. And when you say about a minute on your lips and that thing,
Kgs on your hips, yes, that's the truth.
पंजाबियों को तो पानी भी लग जाता है. I always say, मैं तो पानी पीता हूँ, मेरे को तो पानी से पड़. That doesn't mean you stop drinking water. Add fruits to your diet. Add excessive water. Yes, water is a very important thing, which most of the people don't take it the way it is supposed to be. उसके बाद अगर टाइम मिले पराठे खाओ, but at least जो basic चीज़ है वो तो use करो.
हमारे तो जिम इंस्ट्रक्टर कहते हैं पराठे भी नहीं खाने हैं.
नहीं, जिम भी करो और पराठे भी खाओ. See, the problem is we eat, we don't want to work out. If you're doing good workout, a good physical activity, your parathas will be burned. Have a healthy lifestyle. Enjoy your food.
Yeah, don't curtail yourself. Enjoy life. Food is a massive part of your life.
I've seen my friends who have six pack or probably are so fit. वो सब कुछ खाते हैं और मैं कहता हूँ यार मेरे को तो एक फुल्का खाओ मेरे को लग जाता है. Because I don't work out the way they do. So I cannot blame them. I have to blame myself. I need to start working out or probably have good physical activity in my life to remain fit. Eat everything, but be very physically active. घर पे बैठ के अगर वो सास बहू सीरियल ही देखना है या पाकिस्तानी शोज देखने हैं और बेड पे बैठ के राजमा चावल खाने हैं, भगवान भी कुछ नहीं करेगा आपका.
That's your audience, by the way.
मैं तो ये कहूँगा जी कि ज़बान को चलाना और ज़बान को चलाना और ज़बान को स्वाद के लिए खाना, उस पर थोड़ा कंट्रोल होना चाहिए. So जितना अगर ये आप कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं, you are healthy, you eat anything.
But Arun, I'd like to pose this important question to you. The dilemma that a filmmaker has to create creative content, but also then be bound by the commercialization. That either it is a norm that has been set by the audiences, और ये चल रहा है, ये trendy है, आजकल एक item number डाल दो, put on a hot model or a hot actor, actress, and that functions. But is there a possibility to then fight away from the norm and still be a commercial success at this time and age?
You see, today, I don't think the star is not an actor, and star is not the song. Star is just a story. If your story demands it, do it. Without demanding a story, you keep on putting anything, it's not going to succeed today. The time has changed. People are getting more intelligent now. The sense of watching a particular film is entirely changed what it was 20 years back or 30 years back. So that's why the good cinema, you call it a good, so good, which is in the theaters and all that, it's not succeeding. So it's all the story demands, what story demands, that's a star. You have a content, you have a story, how you narrate it, what's your participation, what's your treatment, that will carry the film forward.
Yeah, you know, content is king, and that is clearly more visible, Tarun, now than it was perhaps 5 years or 10 years ago. You know, we have the OTT platforms, even the films from tier 2, tier 3 cities with the quote unquote non actors, non stars is the one that is actually working. Even the likes of Shah Rukh Khan's and Janvi Kapoor's are, you know, diving deep, bringing out that rustic India. That is the flavor. Is it just a flavor? Is it just a trend, just a fad? Or this is an indication of how the country looks at itself, how our people, how our youth look at how we are, what we are, and being proud of our heritage. Whether it is about the films we make, whether what is about what our reality is, what our heritage and history is, and also how Vicky went about showing, you know, millets, bajra, you know, taking away the quinoas of the world, which were the fad, but bringing in our own diets.
Well, as you see, India is changing. You know, we are becoming digital India. The mindset is changing. Everybody has a different mindset right now. The youth sees everything very differently. The internet has changed the way we used to watch films, the way we used to take fashion, as well as the way we eat food. So right now, as I say, yeah, so the whole impact of the changing, you know, the society, the way the youth has now been brought up, makes a large difference on everything from food habits to entertainment. And that's what it is, and that's what we have to understand, and that's what we have to deliver right now to the new India, what they're looking for.
Yeah, but yeah, Arun.
You see, of course, I was very happy when the
Vicky
earlier
actually,
program
yes.
was making, Vicky was doing something with the millets, you know. Unfortunately, what happened in the country, like the green revolutions, which has of course given us enough food, but it has also changed the sensibility and the food habit of the rural India. So today, if there's any problem coming up, there's only problem coming up because of that. But look in the West, number of European actors I know, they are basically eating more millets rather than anything else.
Why is this fascination for the West? Why do we want to ape the West when the West is the one that is actually aping us? Whether it is yoga, Ayurveda, Bajra, Jowar, they're all consuming it. But has the change now? Are we at a turning point that we are looking inwards and yes, we want to have our Bajra and we want to have our roti and our wheat and rice and not look at, you know, these fancy vegan diets that are celebrated in the West, whether it is quinoa or you know, other of these foreign foods?
For me? Well, there are two things. Of course, world economy is one part. Food shortage is coming up another part. And then the world, the way today's younger generation are looking up everything around, so they find it's more suitable for their body at all. A lot of foreign actors, as I know that, they're turning to vegetarian. They're becoming vegan even. Number of Indian actors are becoming vegan now. I mean, yesterday, I don't know which actor said, oh, I left non-veg.
Yeah, there are a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
So they started knowing their body much better than what they were taught earlier.
That's an interesting
So
point
that's
to
an
make.
interesting point coming up
Yes.
today.
So, Sumer, again, the same question to you. Are we finally looking inwards? You know, our local produce is something we should be celebrating, and we finally are, with the likes of celebrity chefs, actually encouraging it with our own actors, film stars, public figures, putting it out there.
Well, definitely. Now, the thing is, if you go back 1960s and all, we as an India was obsessed with the Western market. We wanted to become like that. But now when we have, I won't use the word, of course we have learned a lot of things, but we have also ruined or lost a lot of culture to that whole changing system. But now, every 30, 40 years, the time changes, people get more enlightened, the social media has come, more knowledge has come. There was no internet. I think so people have tried, tested what Western people were doing, and now they want to come back to their roots, and which is amazing. And now they are understanding it. And I wouldn't be surprised after 30, 40 years, the next generation might be doing something different. But this generation, which was kind deviated from its path, is coming back, for sure. And that's good about it.
There's also political will towards that direction. But Tarun, I'm going to ask you. That Arun made a good point. He said that you have to understand what your body requires, and that understanding is different for each individual. And taking forth that point, how does this awareness be created, particularly for the youth? That's a vulnerable age. You want to do everything that your favorite actor, your favorite actress is doing. You want to do everything that a Salman Khan or a Shah Rukh Khan or a Tarun Arora wants to do. So, how do film stars who have the responsibility and onus to create the right kind of awareness to the people, to the public, to the youth of our generation, and are you taking steps towards that direction?
Well, yeah, every actor is responsible, I would say that, for everything, even promoting from smoking to drinking to any kind of, gutka or whatever masala, what is harmful. We all have
Quite
to.
the controversy that has happened, whether
Yeah.
it is Amitabh Bachchan or Shah Rukh.
I agree with you. So as I said, yeah, every actor has that responsibility towards the youth and towards our country. We definitely, we all have our own vices, but then it is that we have to make sure that at least we give the right lesson to our young boys and our young people. So I would say that, yeah, we all should take that responsibility, not only as actors, even as parents. We should make sure that we feed our kids healthy food and we give them knowledge about why this food is eaten and what does it do good for you. Yeah. Actually, like when we were kids, we were told butter khao, ghee khane se taakat aati hai. But yeah, aati hai, but there are things which we should also understand that too.
We have started living very sedentary lifestyles. So maybe what was true 20, 30, 40 years back for our grandparents and great-grandparents would not be true right now, because we're sitting on our armchairs looking at their laptop and actually working versus a more, strenuous exercising regime that our ancestors had.
Yeah, seriously, as I said, there's a new change in India. There's a lot of changing. It's the lifestyle, the jobs, what we do demands more sitting on a chair right now. So I would say, whatever we do, it's a healthy mind is what's going to make the difference. So healthy mind is what you're going to, distribute to your fellow beings and to your colleagues. So the best thing what we can do is, as an individual, take the responsibility and start with somebody who you're very close to. And I guess we should just let them know what is healthy and what suits. But we should eat everything. Nobody is saying that. Add a little workout. Eat at right time. It's all about balancing. Life is all about balancing. So it's balance your food well. And I guess it isn't as tough as what we're making it out.
It isn't that tough, but I'm going to pose specifically this question. They say, a high protein diet has to involve meat. How much truth does that hold?
Well, it does hold a lot of thing, because red meat does give you a lot high dose of protein, but it is not good if you don't eat it. As I said, if you don't balance your food well, high dose of protein is also not good. You need a lot of other nutrients. You need a lot of fiber in your body. So as a bodybuilder who is going for a profession, who is going to compete, I would say he would require that kind of a diet, but not for an actor who is just going to temporarily play a character. For him, it all depends on how much he would portray. We can cheat on cinema as well. So it's not necessary that you go through that kind of strenuous diet like a bodybuilder, because you are not a bodybuilder. And even as an athlete, as every human being, we all know what is our job and what do we perform. So keeping all that in mind, I think that's how we should design our food and our habits.
So, Mayor, a question to you. A lot of youth get influenced, go to the gyms, take advice from trainers, whether they may be well aware or not well aware, about these steroids to bulk up, to build up these bodies. And they have negative adverse impacts as well. But they do it nonetheless because they want to emulate their stars. They want to have the bulky body. Perhaps they want women to be attracted to them. And that's why I go about doing this. Your take on it?
Well, I have done that. I will not deny that. But my body couldn't take that stuff. There was a time I really wanted to lose weight or for some particular role. I did take those steroids or ABCD things, yes. But I realized my body or my energy level, or I am not meant for that. I could not take my hand shaking, because when you are taking these kind of substance to make your body, your workout level needs to be double the amount which you are doing. Your whole mental status needs to be very controlled, because when these things, your hormonal changes happen, there's a lot of adverse effect happens, even when though your body is being coming or cut and blah. I realized it after 3 months, even though I got lean, but I realized it. This is not the way I will go. I'm one of the person, I try everything if I have to, but then I take my personal decision. Do I want to do it again? Can I do that? No, I cannot. And trust me, whatever you see on internet or probably movies, this particular amount or style of body cannot be made with natural food I can give you in writing, whether they admit it or they do not.
Let's get an opinion from Tarun over here. You know, as mainstream as it gets, and you understand the nitty-gritties and behind the scenes efforts that take place.
Yeah, I agree with him. Yeah, you can't make that kind of sculpted body without steroids. And it's not that only in India, when it came to Hollywood also, when they required that kind of body, like Brad Pitt, when he portrayed his character in Fight Club, he needed to be lean. He had to go through a kind of a diet with steroid. So as when you're doing something like that, you definitely require a very disciplined life. You have to make sure, like how you control. We have actors who have abused it and are, paying for it. I would not like to name them, but yeah, you have to be very careful with whatever you do. And these kind of steroids are used by, especially for professional athletes who are doing bodybuilding. And since they need that kind of definition, so they put in that kind of risk as well. So I would say is, yeah, so it all depends on your profession, and whatever you do, you have to do it responsibly. That's it.
It's part of your profession. There have been adverse effects that have been, like you mentioned, faced by film stars, by actors. But how do you give the message out to the public, saying that because they are desirous of their bodies, they are going to go to any lengths to actually go about putting in procedures, I don't know, Botox, fillers. How do you actually teach them that this is the wrong path that you're taking?
For
you
this
don't need
thing,
to.
there's nothing wrong or right. Whenever you do such things, not just steroids or anything, do it under supervision. The person, just like you have a guru to guide you what to do in your life, these things also need your proper trainers who are well acquainted with the knowledge. So they know exactly what changes your body will happen, what things can be done, what will be the adverse, but how to work on that. अगर आज आपका सोडियम डाउन हो रहा है, आज आपका ये हो रहा है, आप खुद करते जा रहे हो, I'm sorry, things will go worse. Have a proper training, have a guru, have a guidance. You will be in control.
Arun, there's also a fad that had come up in Bollywood, in Hollywood, in international cinema, of being re-thin, size 0. It started off with Kareena Kapoor, and more and more of our actresses are looking the same because of this trend that then allows them to be part of mainstream cinema. How do you react to this? What do you think of it?
Well, I think it's absolutely wrong, for everyone to present himself or herself as a body which probably is not his natural, the chemicals which are producing and giving him the body as such. Basically, if you have a, body and the mind both go together. So that's why, as earlier we've been talking about, ghee khaiye, dahi khaiye, that's what forefathers have been saying about. Well, absolutely, that was right at that time, because mentally they were not as much busy or not engrossed like today's the struggle a person are going through. So their body demands something different things. They can absorb different things than what earlier people have been able to absorb. The same way, if you say wanted to be a more slim, thinner, single body, single bone, and to carry on you have to do an extra struggle, extra labor, extra fatigue. So that what you have seen, the number of actors who died on the gym itself, that gives exactly, it's not the right way.
I would say there's a lot of pressure in the industry. There have been, like you mentioned, there have been unfortunate deaths of film stars, of actors struggling to reach the next level. And that becomes difficult. That becomes extremely sad to understand that, these pressures succumb you. And on that note, I also like to open up the floor to our audiences. Any questions that you would like to ask our distinguished panelists here? We can circulate the mic.
I guess we have addressed it.
Okay,
so
we have
nobody
addressed.
wants to-
But before I let you all go,
I add the final thing, someone, if you're not anybody talking about. Today, the meaning of an actor, the concept of an actor is totally changing. Forget the figure. You don't need six-pack.
and we still have
It's
six
totally,
packs
it's
when-
going to,
when
in
Shah
another
Rukh
5
and
years,
Deepika
you will
sizzle
see
on the
people are
screens.
not going for a gym
There are
and
both-
making
they're different.
six-packs. You need actor.
Okay.
Actor who have mind and body to present a character.
But do you get the X factor then? While you are a performer, while you are an actor and you're massively good at your craft, but then there is the X factor that you build in with the six packs or the svelte figure or the size 0 is what is then.
That's your
puts
actor. You have to do
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
for a particular role.
Okay, on that note, I would like Pummy Auntie to crack a joke for all of us, yeah? With your quintessential humor.
देखो पे
You have to.
देखो पेन जी जो मर्जी कर लो ਤੁਸੀਂ ਡਾਈਟਿੰਗ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਕਰੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਨਾ ਕਰੋ ਜੋ ਮਜ਼ਾ ਰਾਜਮਾ ਚੌਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੈੱਡ ਤੇ ਖਾ ਕੇ ਆਂਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਕਿਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਂਦਾ ਬਾਕੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਜਾਏ ਪਹਾੜ 'ਚ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਸਿਕਸ ਪੈਕ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਮੋਟੇ ਪੇਟ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਉੱਤੇ ਹੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈ ਕੰਮ ਖਤਮ
A huge round of applause for Pummy Auntie and for Tarun and for Arun for joining us and giving us the insight into how Bollywood works and how the film stars' diets function, how pressurizing the job is, and they do it with such a honor. Huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much.